It's American Education Week here on Mass Appeal. We've been giving you great info all week long. How about some more, though? Alexis Avila is the founder of Prep and Polish Tutoring and Test Preparation, and he just so happens to be sitting to my left. Thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
Today's lesson is for middle school parents, but frankly, it could be for anyone for that matter. It's parenting tips for middle school kids. The first one is getting the inside scoop.
Yeah, I mean, get the inside scoop basically means to, think about it. Your middle school student for the first time, his role models are not necessarily the parents, but are the peers. And he's kind of having a hard time processing his day. It's up to the parent to really dig that good details that happen during his day.
Because inevitably, you'll ask your kid how was school, they'll say, good, and you need more than that.
Yeah, so don't ask questions that are going to elicit a yes or no response. Yeah. Ask detailed questions and, really dig deep. Be like, what did you do during math class today? Anything interesting happen? What did you have for lunch? I mean, whatever kind of just, those kinds of questions you're gonna get more out of your child.
It's specific questions. You're right. You're asking pointed questions. But it's so funny because that translates to relationships. If you come home and you ask your spouse every day, how was your day? You're more often than not going to get a good response. But if you're knowledgeable about your spouse's day, you can ask pointed questions and elicit good responses.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just keeps on giving. And the next step is to make respect a priority.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, school sometimes doesn't I know it has rules during class, but that student's very overwhelmed. There's a lot he's processing, and sometimes it's really important for that student to come home to some structure, some semblance of structure, and some traditions and rituals. So just kind of make it a point to have dinner time at the same time if you can as a family, so you guys can have those kind of thoughtful conversations around the dinner table, and just make respect a priority. I mean, that student is craving structure, and you basically want to make those expectations clearly defined so that student feels safe.
That's a great point. I'm speaking from a place of ignorance because I don't have a middle schooler. But I would imagine it's a tricky age because the child still craves mommy and daddy, but simultaneously is trying to exist on their own and be too cool for the parents at the same time. So it's very tricky. But you need to, respect is a priority. Lastly, engage in thoughtful conversation with your students.
Not only engage with thoughtful conversation and try to figure out what your student likes and dislikes and try to cater those conversations around likes, but then try to ignite that your student's passions. So, I had a student who was really interested in geography, and we would just, I took him to museums. And you just we had a deeper bond that way. And if your student is an athlete, I mean, we're right across the street from the NBA Hall of Fame, right? Take them over there. I mean, you guys will have a better bond, a more meaningful bond, and then your student is going to gain confidence in himself and pursue his passions, become more of an expert.
It's all about thoughtful parenting, and it's amazing what just a simple small act can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. American Education Week on Mass Appeal. You've been here all week.